Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom and become the rock star agent in your market. And that is exactly what we're talking about today, especially not just even how to become the rock star agent to your local market, but even regionally and nationally, because we're talking about Christina Daves, who's here to share how to pitch regional and national media. Christina is a repeat guest, and we'll bring her in a second. We're super, super excited to talk with her today. But first, the junior grandmaster himself is also with me in the co-pilot seat, broadcasting from home where he so belongs. Greg McDaniel. Greg, what's up today?
Johnson Face, what up, homie? Hey, so I was kind of kicking off today, got my butt kicked in a really hard workout, just good way to start the morning. And I sat down with my best self journal that you and I are both using, and I wrote down something, and I wrote it down, and it already has come true, because I put it out there into the universe. So it was very interesting. I said I wanted to find one person that wanted to buy or sell. I wanted to find a new lead, and I want to find one new person who wants to talk about EXP. I found an investor. His name is Randy. He wants me to keep him apprised of anything new that comes on the market. And I had two other very, very powerful calls about another woman who said that she wants me to come on out and talk to her in March. And you know what got her to have me come out versus the other people that have been harassing her?
Okay.
Send out card.
Really?
I sent her a send out card thanking her for being so kind to me. I'm like, did you get the card? She's like, yes, I did, and I really liked it. And you're the only one that ever sent something like that. I'm like, wow, thank you very much, ma'am.
So this is a cold prospecting call.
Yep.
To an initial conversation. You sent her a follow-up card, and then you made a follow-up call to her this morning to see if she got the card.
Yep, starting at 8:30, man. 8:30 are beautiful times to do follow-up calls. I'm starting to get phenomenal responses at that time in the morning. So just, awesome. Guys, writing your goals down works. Don't be a bitch. Start writing your goals.
That's right. Inspirational Friday with Greg McDaniel. Oh, my God. All right, well, let's bring in our special guest. Christina, how are you today?
You guys always make me laugh so hard. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you.
We're so stoked to have you back, and thank you for being so tolerant.
Of our session.
Yeah. Good.
No, we will not disappoint. Trust me.
Oh man. Okay.
No, you don't.
So for anybody in the audience that may have missed your initial episode, Christina, kind of fill us in. Just quick 60 seconds on who you are, where you are, what you do.
Sure. Yep. My name is Christina Daves. I am the founder of PR for Anyone. And I actually created this company after my need to get free publicity for a product that I had invented. And I did so well figuring things out that it actually launched a business, because so many people, they can't afford PR firms. They can't afford a lot of advertising. I know advertising is in the real estate space, but there's a lot of free publicity that you can get outside of that. So it's just launched a whole nother business of helping people get more visibility through social media, traditional media, and then combining them together.
Yeah, and that's actually a good place for us to start, because you've done a ton of research on the Facebook algorithm, which is all the rage right now. And some of the things that we're going to talk about they're not just tactical changes that we need to make right now that won't be the same a year from now, but it sounds like there's some things that are going to change that are going to really expose people who've been trying to game the system. And so that's going to go away. And the ones that remain standing are the ones that get good engagement on your posts. So, of course, we want to continue to make good content and stuff like that. But there are some interesting things that you found out. So, Christina, let's start there with some of your conclusions based on all the research you've done.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I have students in this, so I've got to know what's going on. We were joking earlier about the cat videos, and those are going to kind of have to go away. Although you guys get great engagement on your cat videos.
No. Not getting rid of my kitty videos. No way.
Yeah. But you really have to think about on Facebook, what you're posting. What are your people who are following your page really want to see, and what's really valuable to them that will help them engage with you and maybe ask you questions about, to dig deeper, because that's the thing. And it's not just likes and shares anymore. That really isn't what they're counting as engagement. They want, Matt and I were talking about this before we went live, they want me to do a post, and they want Matt to tag Greg and a bunch of other friends on my post to get them to engage. So it's a continual engagement. And it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm really active on my personal page, and I don't even have a lot of that. So to drive that to your business page, at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay to play on Facebook, which is fine because it's a really good, you can really target who you want to target, but it's going to weed out a lot of these fake businesses or people who throw a shingle up and say, oh, I'm an expert, that right now we can't, it's like the fake news. We can't weed them out, but are they willing to pay to stay in the game?
Yeah. The thing is that when I read a lot of articles about the algorithm, and I've watched Social Media Examiner when they really, I think it was a week ago when they really did a whole show. Stelzner came out and just did an hour long on it. And the thing is that they want you, like you were saying, they want the engagement not with you and the audience. They want the audience to engage with each other, banter back and forth, talk, do all that stuff like an actual engagement. Like if all three of us were in a room, Matt and I would be fucking with each other. You'd be looking at us laughing, and Matt would be pinching his nose, and I'd be grinning the whole time. That's social engagement. So guys. It's totally right. You'd be eating cookies. I'd be drinking beer. Christina, I don't know, glass of wine or cookies. I don't know. What's your flavor?
Wine girl. Oh, you have me pegged.
Wine girl.
But I mean, so when you guys are working, if you want to help like our show out or something like this, guys, tag people, talk to people, but you can't bait click either or engagement. Click. You have to be authentic between the viewership and sharing it out and doing these types of things. But the engagement and the communication between the viewers is huge. So please, if you guys are watching us do this, join us in this whole thing, because I don't know where it's going to go. It's
nobody does.
Like they said, that's the head scratcher. You're like, how in the hell do we get people to talk without telling them to talk? We tell them to talk, they're going to demote us, but we can't have them talk. But I mean,
you can't say, what do you think? Comment below. You can't do that anymore. It's interesting.
Oh, really? So maybe I misunderstood the algorithm then. I thought that you could, like, when we're live like this talking, it's okay to talk.
When you're talking.
But not written.
It's okay. Exactly. That's why Facebook Live is absolutely 100% vital for your business. You have got to be doing Facebook Live, because in your Facebook Live, and we're sharing this on my page, so feel free, guys, talk about this, tag your friends, engage with this. Really, really important. That's going to be the people who are committed to it. And I think people like you guys with a set show, a set time, a set where you have followers, are going to be light years ahead of those of us who are just doing Facebook Lives. I really think that's going to be really important, are these people. And you'll see a lot of the top marketers are doing that. They're coming up with their shows. So, come see us at that day and time.
Yeah, so people know what to expect.
I want to talk about really quickly, Christina, because I know you're an expert in this. In Facebook, they have, let me get to it really quickly so I can show it to you. On the very bottom of your screen, guys, they have a little TV screen looking thing with a play button on it. And they have, I don't want to pick up that. They have this, which is where other shows go. You can go, they're categorizing shows into clusters so that you don't have to go hunt and peck, and then you can like, follow, and subscribe to them there. I want to know how to get our show on that. That was where I want to go.
And it's interesting, and I don't know, but I'll look into it for you, because that's what I've heard. Facebook wants to become a media outlet, and we are basically, you guys are a show for them. Your content, so that's what they're moving towards. More people like that. So I'll look into that. I don't know the answer to that.
So,
but it definitely.
Again, I want to pick your brain because you've really done some research on this. They also are looking for longer form content, and they classify. I might be wrong on this, but this is what I thought I heard. That they find live content, if you're 90 seconds or longer on Facebook Live, that's a longer form content. And if you're going to write something that's more than one sentence, it's a small paragraph. Am I accurate in understanding that correctly?
I have heard that too. And again, this is providing valuable content for their new media outlet. NBC News wouldn't do a one sentence clip other than a teaser of coming up next. So if this really is what they're doing, we are helping them build their media empire by giving them content that they can put on their platform.
But they give us the ability to be viewed by X amount of people up to, I mean, so it's a nice little symbiotic relationship here. We get ability to go live. They get our content. Basically, we give them our firstborn and a blood sample, and we're off to the races.
Exactly. And if you want to pay, you can do even better.
And we actually say thank you for taking my firstborn and blood sample. Now, I didn't like him anyways. Let's go.
But you can't, we really can't walk away from Facebook because there's no other platform that we can target that. You know, if you guys are targeting new real estate agents to get them started, whatever, in your program and that kind of stuff, I mean, where else can you do that to target that finite of an audience, to get exact in front of exactly who you want to get in front of? And that's why it's so valuable. And that's why we have to give them our firstborn.
Some of our viewers and listeners volunteer this. Like, you can have her. Yes. She's at 123 Main Street. She'll be home at 3.
Take her away. Yeah, and I think there's value, I think, in figuring out a way for you to bring a certain set of value to Facebook and then give them another outlet where maybe you have a little bit more control, to where you can get them off over into, let's say, your email list, or, you know, get them subscribed to the podcast like we do, right? So you guys, you know, Facebook obviously is not the only place to get the show. You can go to iTunes and you can get the show later, and that has nothing to do with Facebook, right? So it gives us a little bit more of a controlled environment where we can push out other things, or they can get into our email list and we can communicate with them directly, just in case. Like, I always want to be building up that permission list of people that I have permission to communicate with outside of Facebook, just in case something like this happens, and for whatever reason we just can't come up with the type of content that generates the reaction and engagement that Facebook is looking for, because you just never know. And I mean, sometimes Facebook could just flat out get it wrong, and they could have the wrong thing in mind, and people just don't respond. We were talking before we went out live that how many people know how to tag somebody else to share a post with them to get their attention over to a certain post that they like. Now, people sometimes understand how to share a post, but actually tagging somebody in the comments, I mean, I could pay my parents to share my posts. I could not pay them to tag me or tag somebody else to watch something that I do, because it would take me 15 very long, frustrating minutes to try to explain to them how to do it.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And I had never thought of that, but you're absolutely right on that part of it.
Yeah, so you never know.
And what you said is really important. The money's in the list. Yeah. You know, Mark Zuckerberg could turn Facebook off tomorrow. Do not put all your eggs in a basket. And I actually have a program like through Facebook, but I have it all backed up. So should they shut it down, I just have to find a new platform and, you know, move everything over there and upload it. But it's a great platform to have. But yeah, you've got to have that email list. Yeah. To build your followers.
Yeah, and Greg, you were talking about, Mick, just the newly discovered joy of making follow-up calls. Something,
yes, very new.
Yes, you probably should have discovered it a while back, but now you're discovering it, and the money for you is in that extremely personal follow-up. So you're looking for social media to kind of build the relationships, especially the initial relationships with people, to get them kind of into your world. But then, Greg, you want to do exactly what you did and reach out to them, communicate with them, like have much more personal offline conversations where you can make the impact like you made on that gal this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, there's a crash outside my window. I thought the world was coming to an end.
Tremors? Is there an earthquake? What's going on?
No, just someone knocked over a garbage can.
Oh, okay.
It's not the end of the world. Quick little side note, Carrie, I sent the information over to you about the buyers that are coming out to your neck of the woods. Take a look at your Facebook. I sent a referral over to Carrie. She's over in Florida for some people when I was doing calls here. Yeah. But yeah, it is in the follow-up, and Matt, you'll be extremely pleased with me on this one. I mean, I'll get a little pat there it is, pat in the back. I am putting a system in place. I know. And I am making sure that every person that I have has a follow-up date where they're going to be, I will have another contact with them, and it's in a system, and that's a curse word for me, but I'm getting over it, so that no one else falls through the cracks.
Nice. I like it.
I even got yelled at by a guy today, too, and I still, told him to go fuck himself in my mind, but I was very polite to him outside. So that's all in the follow-up.
You have that follow-up call scheduled?
I do.
That's awesome, sir. I appreciate it. I'm going to put you down for 2 months out. I'll talk to you then.
I need a good smacking again, sir, so I'll be back for a double dose.
Exactly, yes. I estimate that my self-esteem is going to be really good around March. I'm going to give you a call then. I feel like I'm going to need to be knocked down a couple of pegs. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit before we get into pitching regional and national media. Christina, just let people know what the best way is to link up and connect with you and learn more about what you do.
Yep, ChristinaDaves.com will link to everything. That'll link to PR for Anyone. And we'll talk about my challenge after we talk about the PR stuff. But okay. I'm running a free challenge that I think you guys should all join. My realtors especially are having amazing success, and I'll share some stories with you. But we'll tease you a little bit with what you can do first, and then we'll get you in the challenge.
All right. Okay, so and then Greg, for those of you, even though your display says that you are the Johnson, that is incorrect. You need to update that. You need to update that. So the best way to reach out to Greg, one of the guys that's watching, asked a question about EXP Realty and joining all that. Daniel, so go to bookmcdaniel.com. You can grab a call on Greg's calendar to chat about that and see what the benefits are of moving over, as well as what the benefits are of moving over specifically and plugging into some of the systems and programs that we've put in place for you to make it easier for you to be productive and make more money. So bookmcdaniel.com. Yes. So Christina, let's shift into the regional and national media. So give me a sense of kind of the timing of things and what they are looking for, especially when it comes to pitching them something from a real estate agent.
Yeah, and we should have done this article or this interview next week because I'm actually interviewing a local newspaper editor, a Washington Post editor, and the Washington Business Journal editor with exactly those questions. But I have my ideas, of course, in place. But so first of all, timing, and people don't understand this. You think, and I've done this. So this is, we all right. think this, that, I've got this idea. I'm going to pitch the media today for tomorrow. Right. Now, sometimes that happens. I have an agent who pitched, he took a training. I do free trainings all the time. And he took a training right before Thanksgiving, and his article was actually published December 4th. That's very rare, very rare. Because usually it's, for newspapers, it's a couple weeks, a month. Magazines, regional magazines is 2 months. So right now we're at the end of January. You're looking at March, April time frame, and then June, July for any kind of national magazines. So you have to, right now you've got to think summer for national publications, which is really hard to process because it's freezing outside, at least where I am. But yeah, so you have to think of that timing. So if you're pitching something related to the spring market, you're not going to pitch that April 1st. Mm-hmm. You've missed the boat on it. You've got to build your relationship much earlier than that. And the guy who got in quickly could have been, they had some space. His topic was selling real estate with Facebook ads. So maybe it was very timely. Mm-hmm. But to tell you how valuable this stuff is, he got that article December 4th and literally within a few days got $3 million listings because of that article.
Holy cow. Wow, that might make him $75,000 in commission just off that one media placement. Yeah, no, he's very happy with me. But he walked out, he's like, I can do this. I can pitch, there's different, you have to have your comfort level. And he's like, I can send an email. That's a piece of cake. I can find the right person. And he wrote a really great hook and got this article. So, and I think he's got 3 more pending. So it's really, really doable. Again, timing is part of it. Your topic. You're not talking about, hey, I'm, Christina Daves. I'm super real estate agent. You gotta provide value. Like selling a house with Facebook ads is a cool story. Mm-hmm. When I was doing my research for this article that I'm writing and that I'm interviewing all these people, the Washington Business Journal just did a story about 4 condos in Maryland that you can pay for with Bitcoin. That's a cool story. Yeah, that's a headliner. Very cool.
That's right. So I worked with an agent a couple years ago, and she got the Terminators listing. Remember Linda Hamilton, the Terminator fame? Yeah. So she happened to own a farm here in Virginia, and the agent I said, oh my gosh, you've got to let all the papers know. This is so exciting. And she's like, I can't do that. I said, why don't you call Linda and say, hey, I'm going to pitch the Washington Post. And if we get your listing in there, 1 million people are going to see it this weekend. What do you think? Well, what do you think she said? Of course she said yes. And then all the local papers picked it up. And so if you have any kind of celebrity, and you guys are out in California, you might have homes that a movie was filmed in, a celebrity used to live in. Do a little homework, because the media loves that kind of stuff. Where I am in Virginia is a big Civil War grounds. So there's all kinds of historic properties here and haunted properties and things that are cool for the media to pick up on.
Yeah, so you just have to do a little bit of homework on the property, see if there's something interesting you can pull out about it and highlight it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. All right.
Yeah.
So so Greg, I mean, it's you're a little ways removed from Hollywood. We got to get you down into Beverly Hills so you can start listing some celebrity properties.
Yes, but all I like to do is get the Adika. He's connected to nothing. I mean, he's connected to everything. I mean, he and I were just like, remember that song like Bad Bitch or something like that? It was like a long time ago, it was like in the 80s or. Anyways, the singers of him, they were doing a Facebook Live with him, like, because I was watching the video and I went like, dude, they are talking to you. Yeah, Stefan would be a good guy to connect with on that stuff. But he's going to be doing an event down in Paso Robles, a whole wine event with a bunch of rock star celebrities that are going to come in and play. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good idea for you and I to go down there, rub some shoulders, and figure out how we can do some video and list some properties all over the state with our team that we're expanding with EXP.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? I mean, there's a lot of fun possibilities. So, Christina, quick question. So when you say regional magazine, give me a couple of examples just so we can picture kind of what you have in mind.
Oh, yeah, and everything's different. We have in our area Washingtonian Magazine. The county that I live in has Prince William. That's the county. I can't remember, but once a month they send a magazine out. There's Gainesville Lifestyles magazine. That's a big trend right now, are these magazines and magazine inserts in your local papers. A lot of them are doing these lifestyle type spin-offs. So those are great. I mean, you're a local realtor. If you can get in, this regional publication of your county, that's huge for you. Huge.
Yeah, it's very cool. Greg, are you seeing that? What do you guys have in your area?
I was just thinking about it. We have a magazine called the Diablo Magazine, because we have a mountain called Mount Diablo, Mount Devil. And it's a coffee table magazine. I mean, when it's in there, it's staying on the coffee table. And that one, they're like a pack of barracudas. They just hunt you down and kill you if you try to get anywhere close to them without them coming to you. So it's a very difficult proposition. And Christina, you're going to give me a challenge? I challenge you back. I challenge you to get me into that magazine.
All right, well, that's a good question, though. So what do you do with that situation where it's more where they're very insular, and if they don't come to you, you're kind of the outside and you're not in the Cool Kids Club? How do you get into the Cool Kids Club?
Well, my first guess on that is that the whole magazine is a pay-to-play. I'm guessing something like that.
Maybe something like that.
Editorial, that doesn't. So what I would do is I would Google that magazine and Editorial Calendar and see that. So an Editorial Calendar is set up for advertisers, so they know what's in the magazine every single month. What's really good for us is it's their editorial calendar, so we know what they're going to write about in the magazine every single month. So that will help you if you look 2 months ahead. So from, let's say, April on for the rest of the year, what are they writing about? What's their editorial content that you can talk about and come up with something really creative? And, when you say you can't get to them, have you tried an email or tried a phone call?
Yeah, I've attempted to reach out to them. I have friends that have, the friend of the friend game. But, I mean, to be honest with you, have I given it a real go? No. But I will now. Now that I have I literally had nowhere to start. So editorial calendar, I'll just look that up.
Calendar.
Yeah, so I think I found it, guys. So and I won't share the screen, but basically it's in, so Diablo Magazine has an online media kit. It's a PDF that it comes up right on the front page of Google. Within that, they have the 2018 planning calendar. And so they have when it closes, they have the editorial highlights, which, Greg, for you, April and May are Summer Fun and Best of the East Bay, respectively.
Oh, I'm in.
Yes, I mean, that could be, with your knowledge and stuff like that might be a great natural pitch for you. So Diablo profile, Spotlight, Getaways, City Sponsorship, and Hall of Fame.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
I can hear you.
Any bit better?
Ooh, horrible.
Horrible. Hang on.
Horrible sound, but I can hear you.
Okay, what about now? I think I'm back. Yeah. Good. So anyway, so you can find that available online, and basically, Christina, you're saying that's kind of the topics or the area of focus or whatever, so that you can know like how to tailor your pitch to them.
Exactly. So that way you're pitching them what they're already writing about. You're giving them a great value. So maybe they already have a story, and then they'll use some quotes from you. Oh, Greg's lived here his entire life. Let him tell you what this event used to be like, when he was in elementary school, and now what it is, or what used to happen at that park ground, when 20 years ago when that was something else.
And Greg, we don't want to know what used to happen at the park after dark when you were in high school. We don't need to know.
I was like, oh my God, please let me talk. This is going to be so much fun. But I see where your point is. And Christina, there's the cool part about it. I'm with viral marketing. By the way, guys, if you want to do viral, go hit up my boy Reed. He is my coach. The guy's epic. He's the one that makes me look so good. If you guys have ever been thinking about him, go talk to Reed. Anyways, we do a thing called Fun in the Bay, and we do it every quarter. And we talk about fun things to do around holidays or in the East Bay or something like that. So we're already doing that. If I can just take it and I'll have Reed go and do some research on it, put something together because he graduated with a journalism degree, and then we can pitch it to the magazine and see where it goes. You may have just made me awesome.
You challenged me. Don't challenge me.
Well, now I know how you respond, how to get information out of you. I have to challenge you on air.
And I'll see you in my challenge next week.
Yes, you will, Dave.
Which will be good for you.
Oh my God!
Eating kale, it's good for you. But
but who wants to do that? That sounds awful. All right, so we've got a couple of good comments. Paul Franklin says, I recently subscribed to a 48-page pay-to-play magazine that's issued 6 times a year. It cost him just under $4 an issue. He actually uploaded that includes postage, by the way. He says, I simply uploaded my client list. So I sent copies to past clients, Fear, and a few dozen local waiting rooms. That's interesting. So, and I assume that's one where you can get it imprinted with your information, which I think
we have that too in one of my local communities.
Did you? Yeah, I think Greg, we've had, and his Luke Acree. We did an episode with him on cold call prospecting. But their company produces lifestyle magazines that you can white label and rebrand and send out. I think that's what Paul is referring to, is either them or something very similar. So yeah, that's another great option, is to do something like that where you can white label what looks like a super high end, and it is to an extent like a high end regional magazine, but it allows you to put your content into it. So I like that. Okay. So let's move on to national media. What's the difference when you say national media versus like a regional magazine?
Right. So a national magazine is going to be 4 months out. But remember, they all have .coms too. So your .coms are a lot faster. But if let's just say you want to pitch a story to O Magazine about real estate, well, you wouldn't do millennials. Let's say you were doing a story about millennials buying or not buying, graduating from college, can they afford it? You were pitching BuzzFeed is online. So I'm trying to think of a magazine that's geared towards millennials.
Does that exist?
Let's say I know. No, their Twitter is what they do.
Yeah.
So you want to pitch a story about retirees and what the trends are, where they're going, that kind of thing. And you're pitching AARP magazine. Right. That's 4 months out.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and again, you want to look at their editorial calendar, see what they're doing. But remember, they all have .coms. Just get familiar with the media outlet. At the end of the day, you want to be where your customers are. So for a local real estate agent, the credibility of being in a national magazine is great. And there are other resources to do that, like Harrow. You don't have to go through all the hassle of pitching and whatever, that they're looking for stuff. And I have real estate agents that are blowing up on Harrow. I have one agent, a Keller Williams agent, who was in Realtor.com 30 times in 3 months. Got in the Washington Post and got in Women's Health magazine. That's 2 million subscribers on a real estate story. Yeah.
So what did she pitch about? I mean, that's epic.
So the Women's Health magazine was all about the stress that it's on a husband and wife when you're selling your house, when you're listing your house. And he came in kind of as the expert and talking about things you can do to make it not so stressful, and stories he's seen, couples he's worked with. That was just in October. It was unbelievable.
Goodness.
I would say stress relief between a husband and wife during selling, lots of drinking and drugs, lots of Xanax to bring it down. The fighting will decrease.
You throw kids into the mix. When we sold our house, I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we went on vacation. We threw the kids in the car. I went back in and, had the music playing and set the lights, put all the toys away, whatever. And I said, if our house doesn't sell this week, it's never going to sell. And it did sell, thank goodness, because that is a lot of stress. That people want to look at the house and your kids are napping. And so anyway, but yeah, super exciting for him. So now imagine when he goes to his listing appointments and, oh yeah, here's a great article, listing's tough, but here I am talking about it in Women's Health Magazine. The credibility he has. Yep.
Yeah, that's
so
insane.
What about TV, local and national? Is it the same? Do they have a calendar as well, or is that a different beast?
It's TV in general is a couple weeks. It really is. August is a painfully slow time for the media.
Really?
I joke I have a regular segment now on Good Morning Washington, and I think I got it. I mean, I pitched forever, and they finally put me on in August, and thank goodness I knocked it out of the park. Like I wasn't going to blow this opportunity, and I got a regular thing after that. But I think it was, nobody's watching in August. Let's put her on.
Is there a safety net? They're like, all right, we need content.
Yeah.
We don't know who's watching. Screw it, just throw her on.
We don't know if she's any good at all, but we'll put her on really early.
6 a.m.
Really early. You're on at 2 a.m. Can you come into the studio live? Really need you down here at the studio? Yeah. So it's only a couple weeks out for TV. Okay.
Yeah, only a couple weeks out for TV. And what I want you guys to think about when you're pitching TV is look what's going on nationally. Look who's Inman, Trulia, Realtor.com. Look at these studies that they have. I was actually doing research for a client in Portland, and I got a segment from a real estate agent on Portland Today, which is, on before the Today Show. And she took a Trulia study that millennials want much smaller houses now. Everybody thought, they want these big, huge houses. And she was in the Portland, Vancouver area. She was an agent out of Vancouver. And what did that mean for the local market? So that is a great thing to pitch, but you got to watch these shows, make sure that that's the kind of stuff that they would cover, but it's a great thing to talk about and bring it into your community. If there's a study that says homes with pools are just not selling and you're somewhere in Florida where every single home has a pool and there's some big safety issue now, what does that mean? I'm in DC, the government shutdown. That was a huge thing last week. I was telling my realtors, I'm like, you got to pitch this. What happens if you're supposed to close and all of a sudden you're a government employee? Technically, you don't have a job. So, what does that mean? So that's hot topic in our area.
So that is a big problem. So you mentioned Harrow really quickly, but I don't think a lot of people know what that is. So, I'm a part of it. I want you to explain it and how powerful it is because it is truly unbelievable, guys.
Unbelievable. My real estate agents are crushing it. So there's a resource called Help a Reporter Out, and it's owned by Cision, which is a big media thing. And I tell everybody sign up, and when they call you for the paid version, you don't need the paid version. You're just going to do it for free. But what it is 3 times a day, they send you an email looking for sources, quotes, and it's overwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you. When you first get it, you're going to be like, what is she talking about? I'm not doing this. You want to do this. Trust me. Get used to it. Learn, your search feature on your computer where you can just type in realtor, real estate real quick and let it go through. Because I am telling you, there are some days there are 3 to 5 queries in a day for real estate agents. I think today there's already been 3. And good outlets, Realtor.com, like I said, Truly is in there. A lot Fit Business, like a lot of really high ranking blogs. And you got to think about SEO. And organic, reach. So when you're in Realtor.com and somebody's checking you out, because they're going to check you out, you and the other agent that they're interviewing, and you pop up with all these interviews from Women's Health Magazine, Washington Post, Realtor.com, who do you think they're going to want to work with? Yeah. They're going to want to work with you, the expert, not the person who doesn't have that.
Yeah, very true.
So I really recommend it.
Yeah, so guys, just for physical proof that it really does work, this is a book about adult ADHD. I wrote to a guy who wrote a book, and he was looking for stuff, and I am mentioned all over this thing. So I made a promise to myself that I wanted to be in a book. Ta-da! I'm in a book. I didn't write it. All I did was write a quick little 2-sentence little thing like, hey, I have ADHD, I'm in business, and I do real estate. I think I can give some insight. He hit me back, booked 2 1-hour video calls. He recorded it, translated it, put it all in there. I didn't lift a finger, but now I can say that, hey, if your kids have dyslexia or ADHD, I was heavily featured in a very prominent book. If you'd like a couple copies, I can get a hold of I can personally reach out to the author for you. I'll negotiate a deal. AKA, you're paying full retail.
You could have leveraged that into a full speaking campaign. You could be speaking in middle schools, and there's a ton of stuff you could have potentially done with that if we would have thought about it.
Matt, I need a hazmat suit to be around little humans. Come on, man, they're little germ carriers.
I got it. That is true. All right, so you can speak at colleges. I don't know.
Yeah, but their parents buy and sell houses.
True. We will have to figure out how to leverage this. I did not even think about that.
Yeah, and I had forgotten. It's been so long since we did that. I didn't know the backstory, Greg, of how that came to be. And we ended up having David, the author, on the show and promoted the book when it came out. But I didn't realize that's how you guys initially met, was through Harrow.
Yeah, it's Harrow.
Oh, interesting.
So cool, huh?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable resource. I can't tell you. I love to tell the story. 2 years ago, if you had typed Christina Daves into Google, Christina Aguilera came up because she had all the Google juice on the name Christina. But now, if you type my name in, I'm the first 14 pages of Google.
Wow.
Because of, and this is all organic. So I was trying to get a meeting with the president of a credit union. You guys, I think really big. I'm not scared to send an email or make an ask. So I sent him an email on Monday because I had this partnership idea for him. And he emailed me back and said, can you be in my office on Friday? This is a $40 billion credit union. I'm like, okay. So I go up to the top floor, gorgeous glass enclosed office overlooking Washington, D.C. Wow. And he walks in. He goes, do you know what happens when you Google you? I do.
Uh-oh.
What I do.
I thought I did.
But that's why I got the meeting, because I checked out so powerfully. He's like, how do you do this? This is amazing. So think about that. That's what a lot of what I did, I got through Harrow. You're riding other people's coattails, all their Google juice, and applying it to your name, which is huge.
Yeah, it really is. Years ago, I was doing, I would do little videos on YouTube, little 2-3 minute little videos on YouTube. And they weren't meta tagged, they weren't anything else. And I didn't really think about it, and I totally forgot about it. I didn't have a $40 billion company behind me, when I had this conversation, but someone just randomly said, dude, do you know what happens when you Google your name? I'm like, you're you're the first 6 full pages of what you're doing. I'm like, I meant to do that. That's been my strategy the entire time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. But it is an impressive thing. But that's what you teach, right?
Exactly. And sellers are going to check you out. They're going to have 3 or 4 agents come in, and I promise you they're going to Google you. So that's why, LinkedIn has super powerful SEO. Your LinkedIn profile is going to come up. You better have a good LinkedIn profile, and don't have a picture with a drink in your hand or your kids or it's business. Make it your headshot.
I actually just had a conversation. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I just had a conversation with a lady. Important. I had a conversation with a lady. Yeah, we had a conversation with a lady yesterday that she's going to redo my LinkedIn profile because it looks like a blind moron put it together. Hey, that would be me. And so she's helping me redo it, and she's like, "Well, you don't have this, you don't have that. It's not linked here." And I'm like, "I don't even know where to look for this." But I'm like, "You're right. I have 0 contact information on my LinkedIn page.
Wow.
0.
Oh,
I'm that kid. Okay, I'm the smelly kid.
You are not the cool kid at the LinkedIn party.
Here's the good news. It's all fixable. All fixable. Just start.
Yes, unlike most things about me and Greg.
Just start.
Yeah.
This is
one of the few things that's fixable about me and Greg. Thank God.
Oh my God. Okay, so
man, that's funny.
So just to reiterate, the TV does have an editorial calendar as well, correct? You can go.
Mm-mm.
No,
but they have meetings once a week of what they're going to put on, and you really don't know what's in a TV calendar. I've pitched things to the media that I think is the greatest thing ever, and it doesn't come on, and then I'm just kind of randomly pitching something, and they love it. So it's got to fit with everything they're doing. So don't get frustrated. Don't And it's funny now that I'm on this other side where I use Harrow to get cool products, and I'll get 200 to 500 emails, and there'll be like 100 awesome products. Well, I've got to pick 6 or 7, and they have to tell a story all together. So that's kind of like, I get now being on the other side, journalists might get the greatest story from you, but if it doesn't fit the big picture, they might not be able to use it yet. They all say they keep folders of good stories.
Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that. You're on the other side of it now. You use Harrow from the other side.
I use Harrow to get products for my segment because I'm always featuring cool gadgets, and I work with a lot of inventors because I invented a product. So that's how that all came about.
So you're sourcing stories from other inventors now using Harrow.
Yes.
And so you're getting 200 or 300 emails. So just out of curiosity, from your point of using it from that side, do you use a separate email account so you're only checking for Harrow submissions?
No, I have it all. It all files into a folder.
Gotcha.
And then I can look at it when I want to look at it.
How quickly are you burning through 200 or 300 emails looking for what you need?
Well, and again, when people are like, I'm doing Harrow and it's not working, I'm like, listen, you've got to get in there early. I know this because those later ones get dumped in that file, and eventually I'll look at all of them. But if they're on a deadline for a story, they might just be keeping you for a future story.
Right.
So you really have to keep that in mind and make it accurate and easy to read, and so they can just boom, 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 get what they need, and don't attach pictures. That doesn't work. A lot of know the rules of Harrow, they have it all in there, but read them. So when you're sending something, it's a really good pitch for that journalist.
So it should be short, sweet, and to the point. Like, hey, yes, I can do this. This is my contact information. Give me 5 minutes and I'll explain it to you, kind of a thing, or.
Yeah, tease them enough that they want to move forward with you. Tease them enough with your answer of what they're looking for and why you're qualified. And if you have a statistic, something to back it up, and boom, that's all I would send.
Okay.
Think
short
of your
and sweet.
email box. When you get those big, long emails, what do? I'm like, I'll flag it and read it later. And I never get to it.
No, never.
No. That's all of Greg's emails to me.
No, I do voicemails, and that's when you discard them even faster. Oh, by the way, let's bring up something really funny. Last week, Matt always jokes about not picking up my phone call. I called him. He was like on the 4th or 5th ring, and he finally picked up. He's like, I almost didn't pick this up out of pure spite, just to say I did. I never did it.
So we joke around on the show so much about the fact that I don't answer your calls. I'm like, at some point, I actually have to ignore one of your calls just to make it sort of true. But not that time. But anyway, all right. So let's finish up. Christina, you had some things that you wanted to talk about, like the challenge, before we finish out. So let's make sure we cover that.
So super excited. I created a PR challenge. It's at yourprchallenge.com.
Okay.
And it's 10 days. It's so doable, you guys. You watch a short video. I promise it's short, 5 to 7 minutes, and it's got action items in it. And some of the days have attachments, things to help you out. But it goes through, 10 steps of pitching the media. I've had people in the Wall Street Journal. I've had people pitch their local media right away and get in, like, while they're in the 10-day challenge. I had a travel agent who sent me a message that she actually posted in the challenge that she pitched a local morning show. She's now the regular travel agent on the CBS morning show. She's on every single month.
Wow.
Just from the challenge. So take the challenge, yourprchallenge.com. And there's some great stuff just that you guys should know in general for basics of your business, branding, just some basic things that are really, really important. So you check out. You want to make sure that if somebody looks at your business card, they can tell it's the same person on the website and the Twitter and Facebook and whatever it is you're using for social media. You got to make sure that all aligns. So I talk about a lot of that stuff on day one and dive into a lot of fun stuff, making yourself newsworthy. How do you find the journalists? How do you pitch? That's all in there. And it's free.
Now you're pitching me. Free, you say?
Yeah.
I am a real estate agent through and through. I love free.
It is free. Yeah.
So you know what? Something that you said something there a second ago that resonated with me because it really hit me earlier in my career. I was a douche grunt, as we have referred to many times on the show, and I went out to multiple different publications and studios and asked, hey, put me on air, right? And I had a strong realization to the fact that you have to be newsworthy. You have to do something that they come to you for, not you go to them for. And so I made a decision that day. I'm like, okay, I need to work on myself. I need to become the best version of me. I need to become the most exciting version of me that people will want to come to me to do a story on something. And so I started working on myself and working on my story so that when I do eventually, reach back out, like with your challenge, and I am volunteering on live air, I am taking the challenge, and I'm going to kick ass. Matt, are you going to do it, sucker? Come on.
I already signed up. I beat you to it. I've got the
bitch.
I want to know which one of you two gets in the media first.
Me.
Ooh.
There's the challenge.
All right.
Well, we do have our lookalike on this show, so I don't know. They may just look at Matt and be like, "Have I seen you in a band somewhere?" I think Maroon 5. That's what it is.
I'm just going to claim to be all the other Matt Johnsons that are out there. Yeah. I mean, I played drums for Jeff Buckley in the early '90s. I'm a wedding singer in Florida. I toured with so and so. I'm just going to start like any Matt Johnson that's ever done anything of significance. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
You.
Yeah, that's me. I know. I look so young. It's fantastic.
Christina, we have Arne, who's one of our good friends. She's asking, what product did you invent?
So I broke my foot and was in one of those big, ugly black medical boots. And I was going to New York thinking I'm not going to the fashion capital of the world in this ugly boot, and searched for anything to make it fashionable. And there was nothing on the market. So I created, we call them Medi Fashions, but they're fashion accessories for medical boots. And they were just on the Chew a couple weeks ago. Carla Hall, one of the chefs, wore it on air, and Diana Ross has worn it, and won Steve Harvey's inventor competition. So they've taken off. They're a lot of fun. They just kind of changed the whole negative of, oh God, what happened? Why are you in a boot? To, oh, that's so cute. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Makes the injured happy.
So given that you're still obviously doing that, still pitching the media for that, and running PR for anyone and all that good stuff, all the stuff that you've got going on. So just for you and your schedule and your life, how do you incorporate Harrow specifically in making sure that you're checking it and being timely?
It's muscle memory. I see it come in. Now today was a crazy day, and I've literally been kind of like from meeting to phone call to podcast, and I've got another one at 3:00. So I'll miss it. I'll miss the 1:00 one today. So I'll see what's on at 6. Don't beat yourself up, but get in that habit. They come out at 6, 1, and 6 Eastern time-ish, like right around there. Get used to it coming in, and you'll get good. I'm telling you, you'll get good at scanning, looking for those keywords. Mm-hmm. I can zip through and see if there's anything. And I send stuff to my clients, and I post in my groups, where I know what people are. So I'm still able to do all that in a minimal amount of time.
Very good. All right, so we need to build up some muscle memory. Got it.
She's not kidding, though. It really does. You'll scan so quickly because there are so many people out there looking for stuff. You're just like, I mean, the health section, probably not going to be a real estate thing. Entertainment stuff. I scroll through business and anyways, just sign up, guys. Just stop being a bitch. Sign up. It's going to help you. Remember, our favorite word, free.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man, okay.
Think of it this way. I got on the Steve Harvey show from Harrow. Steve Harvey show. And I followed up and got on twice with him and Dr. Oz. So if you don't think that getting millions and millions of people learning about you is worth it, I've said to somebody yesterday, because I've been doing Harrow now for probably 5 years. If I never got anything else in all those 5 years, getting on the Steve Harvey show was a game changer. Yeah. So that was worth every pitch. And I've gotten tons and tons of other ones. But even if I had never gotten anything, that one is worth your 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So the website is yourprchallenge.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Everybody go there.
Sign up.
And I know you got to run, Christina. So we'll put a nice little bow on this one because you mentioned you've got another podcast here in 11 minutes. I love it. So you got to run. Greg, let's wrap this one up. How did they reach out to you and get a call on your calendar?
Guys, please go to bookmcdaniel.com. Matt and I are starting a national team for EXP. We're very excited to be joining forces with them. They're an amazing organization. Guys, the value add that they bring to your business is unparalleled to anything else I've found out there. I see you smiling at me.
I'm fine. Keep going.
But guys, there's 3 revenue streams on this thing. Your commission, your team's, your portion of your team commissions, and company stock. Guys, it's trading over $15 right now. It started at 36 cents. See where it's going to go from now. They've already doubled their agents last year. They went from 3,000 to 6,500. Guys, they are burning through people, and people are starting to come over. There's going to be a land grab, a massive land grab of agents to put them on your team. So you can get in under 7,000 right now of this recording. Get your ass on a fucking call with me. It's for your wife is going to thank you. Your husband is going to thank you. Your kids are going to have food, clothes on their back and food in their bellies because of this decision.
That's right.
If you don't,
that's right. When you're living in your stately manner that was paid for by your revenue share, then you will thank us. So
guys, seriously, come over and just look at me, and we'll have a conversation. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, great. But at least have a conversation with me. And I'm deadly serious about this. I've never seen an opportunity that you sell real estate, but you make money off the people that you bring in that helps their families as well. So bookmcdaniel.com. Do it now. Or Arne, I'm talking to you, Dodd.
Yeah,
do
exactly.
it. Don't waste my time either.
There was a guy that's in all of our circles that posted on Facebook that he, after he left Keller Williams, he switched over. He's still getting profit share checks from Keller Williams from the 4 years he spent there and all the people that he encouraged to come over there. His profit share check was like $250. He's brought in a couple hundred agents over to EXP just over the course of, the last year or whatever he's been with the company. And not that, that's not that many. That's his total, not people he's personally recruited, just the people that he's brought in and then other people that they've brought in through the conversations they've been having. His ref share check last month was like $4,000. So, I mean, the opportunity is absolutely insane, guys. So with that being said, I just want to thank you guys quickly for sharing the show, and make sure to subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. That is all the time we have for today. Greg, let's put a nice little bow on this one and call it good for today.
Yeah, well, you know what, guys? Follow Christina. She's a legend. You need to learn from this woman. Buy everything that she sells. Otherwise, you're foobarred in the media. Yeah, that's a technical term. All right, guys. We love you to pieces. That's why we bring amazing people like her out to you guys. Like us, share us, stalk us. No, stalk Matt. Don't stalk me. And until next time, guys. Peace out, ninjas. We got